I made it. Okay, so a little bit of tech issues, but I'm here live. I popped on my phone just to make sure I got here just for y'all. Oh my goodness. So I've had tech gremlins all week, and I gotta tell you, it's been fun. It's been a learning process. And welcome to this week's training. I want to explain to you a little bit about, I get this all the time about, well, Joanna, how did you get started so I can understand how it works for me? So I really wanted to go over that today. So if you guys have any questions as we go through this, go ahead and just type them in the comments. Let me know. And you know, I've been in this industry since 2000, so 24 years, and a lot's happened. So if you guys are brand spanking new, just know that sometimes it takes a minute to get the wheels rolling. And then also, once you get them rolling, it's a process to keep them rolling. So I'm gonna go over like my 3-step process that I started with. Actually ended up into a 5-step process that we go over in our group all the time. But what was important for me was that that I was doing deals. It was important that I was doing deals. So those of you that have read my story know that I lost everything in 2008, and I was in a horrible relationship. I had to really make something happen. And even though I lost everything, they say, you know, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. It's the journey that was set for me. It was some things that I needed to learn. And since I had been doing real estate, I realized there's a few things that I had missed back in the day. I have paid hundreds of thousands into coaching, into gurus out there, only to be left with a couple of videos, well, multiple videos, hours of videos, and no real coaching around it. And so inside of my mastermind, what I do is I do have some videos that help people along, stuff that's, you know, normal, but, you know, repetitive. But they get a one-on-one coaching session with me to help dial it in for themselves, right? So that was something that I wish that I had when I first started. And basically everything I do is everything that I wish I had when I got started. So if you're one of those people that said, I wish I had, fill in the blank, to get started, and don't say money, just type in the comments, I wish I had. If I had, I could get started in real estate investing. Leave money out of it. Come up with something unique, okay? And the reason I say that is because I had $0. I had $0. And those of you that are just jumping in, I have some peeps here. Oops, I can't leave the live stream. Oh no, I didn't do it there. It's fine. I'm trying to find you guys on the computer while I'm doing this. You know I can't multitask. It said I couldn't stream inside of the group, and so I had to find another way to get in here so that I can get to you all. We have a lot of new people that have popped in, and I just want to say hello. Let me see here. We got Christine in the group so that she can help navigate with y'all and get you started. So what we like to do is we like to explain how you can get started. We have a lot of training here inside of the Facebook group already that you can get a hold of, and Christine can guide you depending on where you're at. But I want to say hello. We're here every week, Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, where you can actually ask questions. I'll be live here in the chat with you and answer you live as best I can. But also inside of the group, if you post a question, you can see that we've been answering them. But I want to say a warm welcome to Jackie, Loopy, Kelly, Arden, Darian, Alice, Risha, Cynthia. We see you, we hear you inside the group. I just want you to know, okay? Sherry, Esther, Margaret, Melissa, Diana, Tanya, Nicole, Francine, Elizabeth, Bianca, Samantha, we see you, we hear you, and please ask your questions and participate so that we can grow you to the next level. That is a huge part of my group here, is being seen and heard, and then also, you know, getting that next step for yourself, right? So no sense in doing any of this if you can't get some next steps. Take action. Taking action. That's what I love to do here, is help y'all take action. So welcome y'all to, I didn't get to everybody here, but welcome you all. Welcome to all of you inside of this group. We are action takers inside of this group, and we like to help you walk through how it fits for you. And with that being said, I wanted to tell you a little bit about, oops, where did my thing go? I lost it. Okay, here we are. I'm all out of sorts because I'm on my phone, not on my computer. But I wanted to go over, you know, when I first got started in real estate, it was a whirlwind of info, a whirlwind, like a fire hose of info. And I'm like, how do you people do this? It was so much information. And it's only gotten worse over the years. Worse meaning coming from so many different directions that there's a lot of information. We call it Google tubing here at the Retire Land. We spend a lot of time Google tubing, trying to find answers to anything, you know, how to change the oil on your truck, to how to invest in real estate, and everything in between. What you get here is me taking all that Google tubing and narrowing it down for you. So the more questions you ask, the more narrow and laser focused it gets for you, so that you know how to do real estate for yourself. Because everybody's different. Everybody has a different approach or desire in what they want to do, and timeline, right? So depending on how fast you want to go, how slow you're going to go, if you're going to wholesale, if you're going to flip, if you're going to hold property, if you're going to money lend, all of those things we train on here in this group. And you get to choose what you want to do with that, okay? So when I first got started, I had nothing, like nothing. So I speak to the broke people here. There's plenty of us that are broke at one point in time or another, and for whatever reason, it does not matter. So there's a difference between being broke and being poor, all right? So poor is a poor mindset, like you'll never get out of it kind of mindset. Broke is temporary, and you just need a system, a way to create the funds. We got that here. You're good, okay? So being broke happens to everybody. Nobody's born, well, I can't say that. There's a lot of trust fund babies out there, but even still, they don't understand money. We want you to understand how money works, and how it could work for you, and that you don't need money in order to do real estate of your own. You could leverage other people's money, all right? So that's another thing that we train here as well. And that's what I had to do, okay? So that's what I train on, is how to do real estate, no money out of pocket, or without a ton of money out of pocket. You don't have to save up for that 20%. And you don't have to wholesale if you don't want to. Some people want to wholesale. I did a ton of wholesale when I started because I thought that's what I had to do. And I created good money doing it. But I was exhausted. I was exhausted doing wholesale and doing flips, and it was a constant cycle. And so what I realized is, I reflected back to when I first got started in real estate, that my landlord, she had a great wealth plan. And this is what I share with my students, because it's what I practice now. Because I realize, you know, you can only connect the dots going backwards, right? Let me see here. Okay, my phone's weirding out on me. But you can only connect the dots behind you. And behind me was, my landlord had a good plan. She'd been living off of her real estate for years. When she had a stroke, she sold off some of her inventory, some of her properties, and use that money to pay for her long-term care. And that's what I want for everybody here. I want you to create your own economic independence, because it works for me. And those of you that want to know what I do and how I do it is I make real estate pay for my life. I've been living off of real estate for 24 years now, in all different sorts of factions. But real estate pays for everything that I need and everything that I want, okay, including more property. Real estate pays for that. I make the house, the asset, pay for itself. And you might be going, well, Joanna, that works for you because you're this person, I don't know, whatever label you want to put on me, but I'm just like you. I started from nothing, not knowing anything, confused as all hell, and I had to put all the pieces together myself. Because every guru that I paid out there, 20 grand, 40,000, over 6 figures, multiple 6 figures over the years, trying to figure it out on my own. Because they gave me education, they gave me a DIY, they gave me videos, but nobody coached me through the process. Nobody took my hand and said, this is how you do it, Joanna. Not a single soul. All right? I had to do a lot of learning on my own. I had to fail forward fast. And let me tell you, when I started wholesaling, because my life depended on it, I can tell you now, those of you that are motivated are going to make this happen. Those of you that are not motivated are going to go, well, maybe this is what I want to do. Right? So having grit, having that motivation, having the leadership to take yourself to that next level is what I had to grow into. Okay, that's how I did it. Is I literally said, my life depends on it. Someone needs to take control of my life because it's in hell right now. Okay, and I had $0. I had a horrible relationship, and every ounce of money that I made got taken away from me. I had to have a plan. All right, and what I did was I put my blinders on. No more birthday parties, no more weddings, no more going out with the friends, no more doing anything, because my life depended on me taking control of it, taking control of my own economic independence. Okay? And with that, I was able to get out of a horrible relationship, and let me tell you how horrible it was in just a couple of words. Authorities were trying to keep me from being in the house. Okay? They tried to take me away and put me in a women's shelter because it was not safe for me to be there. But I was a control freak, wanted all my stuff, wanted my freedom, wanted my... And here's why. Now, if it was in a city that they were going to put me in a women's shelter, I might have went. But they said, you have to go to this one because it's of the county that I was in, and it was way out in the boonies. And I go, well, how am I going to work or earn money or do anything if I'm stuck way out there? So we have to make decisions in our lives that are not easy, almost daily. Who here has ever had to make a hard decision, like super, super hard, like you want to cry and it hurts you to even make that decision? I had to make a very hard decision, and I had to deal with my situation in a different way. I couldn't let the authorities take me out of that house. They said if you were young, not of age, not of legal age, or you were not of your own sound mind, we would have to detain you here. Okay, that's how bad it was. And my mind had to go to work. And so this is where leadership comes in a lot into my program, my mastermind program. Leadership is a huge part, because if I didn't take leadership of my life, it would have ran over me. And I probably would still be broke to this day if I didn't take control. I'm sharing this with you because you guys have a choice. Now, I'm not saying every single one of you are in the same boat as I was, but I'm saying that's how driven I was. So if you guys don't have some sort of drive, it might not happen for you, okay? As fast as you want it to. The drive really puts that gas pedal on it, let me tell you. And in my very first year, I was able to do 3.5 million. Like, this is from $0, having everything taken away from me, having my phone taken away, my car taken away. I can't even have a bank account. I don't have anything. I had to leverage everything. People, time, car, money, phone, you name it. I had to leverage it all. And that, to me, is the game of success. That's the game of success, because I found people to work as a team with me. All right? I found people to work as a team. And what I know now and what I teach in my 5-day challenge is exposure to you guys, to expose yourself to other people that you're doing real estate, and not just do behind the scenes and be frustrated that you can't do it, but tell everybody that you're doing it. And I know some of you are saying, well, Joanna, I don't want to tell anybody until I'm successful. Well, how do you think you're going to get successful? It's by telling them, and then they want to play with you, right? So that's what I had to do to get past that moment. Okay, I'd been dabbling in real estate. I had been Google tubing, trying to figure out answers. I did what was a 3-step process at the time, which was connecting with sellers, analyzing deals, and making offers. Okay, connecting with sellers, analyzing deals, and making offers. That was it. It was all I did, and I had offers stacked up on my desk. Okay, and I put them so I could flip through them and go, oh, this one said yes. I mean, I made a ton of offers. Okay? And here's where things get skewed. I was a licensed realtor. I've been licensed since the year 2000, and I didn't really practice being a realtor. I was on the investor side more so than anything. Okay? I wanted to know, how did these investors come up with all this cash? How do they have $500K laying around? They just bought a house last month. So how, right? I was so frustrated. And so I started to interview the investors, and we started working together, and we started doing deals. And there was like a group of like 12 of us that like played well together. And that's how I leveraged time. That's how I leveraged money. It's how I leveraged a phone. It's how I leveraged a car, going out, like working as a team. Your team is so important. It's so important to work with other people. That's why we have a networking thread here in the group. Y'all haven't been on the networking thread saying your haves, wants, and needs. Like, who are you? What do you do? Tell people. Okay, what do you want? What do you got? You know, if you have a property in contract, say that. All right, so we're here to collaborate and work together as much as possible. And not everybody is a win-win. I'm not saying go out and JV with the world. All right, because I actually squash and throw rocks at JV partnerships, because 9 times out of 10 they don't work. So don't think JV is going to be your answer. All right, there's ways around that. I'm just saying, I've had a lot of partnerships that have fell apart, and you end up doing all the work and the other person doesn't, or vice versa, whatever it is. Okay, you didn't do what they expected. I don't know. It's always just a hot mess. Even if you write it in a contract, there's always something convoluted about it. So just because you like to go out and have a beer with somebody or drink, whatever, and they're fun, doesn't mean you should JV with them. Right? Personality isn't everything. It is a huge part of it, don't get me wrong, but there's more to it than that. All right? So, and this is what I teach my students to do, is how to vet them out. Okay? How to vet out your team members so that you can leverage all of the things that you don't have that you need in order to do real estate. Okay? So, when I started doing these systems, I learned that I was like, I wonder, so I'm doing this, I wonder if others could do this. Okay? Because people started asking me, Joanna, what are you doing? How is it that you're doing all of this? And so I decided to, you know, coach and see, like, here's what I'm doing. I'll mentor you through this. And we did it. It wasn't a JV agreement, don't get me wrong. It was literally just coaching and guiding somebody through the process. And it worked for them. Well, the very first person, it didn't work. I'm not going to lie there. The very first person, it did not work. He was always going to a birthday. Sharp guy, great personality, had a big family, and almost every single weekend it was, I got to go to a birthday party, I got to go to a wedding, I got to go to a funeral, I got to go to, my wife needs me this, and it was a constant family thing. Now, I love my family, so I'm not saying ditch your family. I am just saying there's got to be a line. When are you going to take care of yourself? So I realized that was my very first student that I coached. And I go, well, I can't get you past this point if you can't put in the time, right? You have to have the time to be coachable, the time to implement, to exercise, a time to walk a property, a time to have somebody walk the property if you're going to leverage, whatever. But you have to be available in order to do this to some capacity. Now, legally, it's because I geek out on the tax and legal side of things. It is 750 hours to be considered a real estate professional. Now, there's some detail to that law, but that's like 14 and a half hours a week. You could do that in 2 days or spread it out, whatever. It's 14 and a half hours a week that it comes to, that you could actually use that as a tax advantage. Okay, so you W-2 people, you need to have some entrepreneurial things happening in your life in order to save on taxes. And so when I lost everything in 2008, I started doing taxes because I was unemployable to any kind of job out there, and was able to learn how taxes work. And so that's where I want to let you guys know there's an advantage to being a real estate investor, not just for the assets, but for being the entrepreneur as well. Now, if you're already an entrepreneur, it's the asset that's going to save you in taxes. So either way, real estate is great for everybody in the group. I'm just saying. Holding it is great. Not just wholesale fix and flip. You can do those and make some cash, that's fine, but you need to hold at least one property a year is what my CPA tells me. Okay, because there's a depreciation advantage. There's all kinds of ways to take advantage of being a real estate investor. This helps you to pay less in taxes and creates cash flow too. So anyways, the whole purpose of me saying all of this is I did this from $0. I've created multi-millions in real estate. I've paid a ton in coaching and didn't get the results I wanted from coaching. So now I teach on what I thought was missing in that coaching. Okay? And so if you guys want to walk through, let me know. This is what we do for the students in the group, is we make a plan and we dial down all the Google tubing so to see how it fits you. All right? So just type walkthrough down in the comments if that's something that you want to do. And Christine is, she's in the group and she'll be able to guide you. Let me see here. Oh, yep. So if you're interested in that, let me know and we'll get to you in the DMs and help you guys to see, well, how do I do short term? How do I do a long term? How do I do a wholesale? How do I do a flip? How do I do, like, all of the things? I'll only train on what I've personally done. It will only train on what I've personally done. It will only guide you, mentor you. Mentoring is giving you my experience of it. Okay? That's what a mentor is my experience and how it works for you. Okay? So if you guys need that walkthrough so you can put a plan together so you can get started right away, that's what we're here for. All right? So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the comments and let us know, and we'll turn around, right back around and get to you to help you guys get through to your real estate, to your first deal, to your second deal, And those of you that have 3 or 4 deals, maybe it's, how do I scale this? Joanna, how did you scale? The bank's telling me I can't get any more loans, or, I need some creative advantages. That's why I do what I do, because the bank will limit you in what you could buy. And why even use the bank at all? Because you're just paying 3 to 4 times more for the project through amortization versus if you do it without the bank, right? So if you look at an amortization schedule over 30 years, you're paying 3 to 4 times more for that property. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if this has been helpful to hear a little bit about who I am, where I come from, how I started from zero. I was just as frustrated as probably some of you are today getting started. When I started, I couldn't get answers. I couldn't get help. I couldn't understand the training. I couldn't understand how the investors were doing so much. And now, 24 years later, I'm like, just ask me. I got you. I got you. If I don't know it, I'll be resourceful for you, right? I'll let you know how to be resourceful for yourself, so that you're not dependent on me, but let me help you grow. Let me help you get past whatever point you're in. Okay? That's what this group is all about. All right? So let me give you just a real quick day in the life of Joanna right now. So last week we had a huge gremlin problem in my computer, which I'm on my phone now, so you can see it's still happening. But this time I jumped on my phone so I can get into our weekly connection call here. But so we have one property, we have a tenant moving in, another property, a tenant moved out, another property refinancing with a money lender, and another property we're renting out that starts May. Like, all of this is happening within a week and a half. Okay, so it's a lot of moving parts happening right now. I have multiple businesses and multiple plates that I'm spinning because I've scaled so much, right? And my leadership is a huge part of how my businesses ran. And so swinging back to that, all the way back to the very first day where I had to take charge of my life, I had to take leadership, I had to take control so that I can have a different life. And that's where I'm at today because of that. And so I don't regret any of it. I'm not like, why me, or how come, or it sucks that happened to me. No, I'm glad that all of that happened to me because I learned. All it is feedback. I learned, and now I know how to grow from it. So I invite you guys to learn what growing that you get to do, and look forward to hearing you inside of the comments. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. All right, there I am. All right, you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you inside of the Facebook group. Bye.